Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. We are playing with polymer clay today, fully inspired by the last video where you saw me use that gorgeous stamp on some vinyl stickers. I had so much fun and thank you for the love on that video. I'm using the same stamp because again, I'm a tad obsessed. We're going to be using the Fimo Soft polymer clay and I've already mixed two together. I've mixed a load of white and a little bit of red to get this kind of half marble. If you missed the last video, I'll link it here, but I bought some beautiful Love Valentines themed stamps from Amazon and one of them is, again, my favorite. You're gonna need your rolling pin and your blade cutters. The other thing I did, stop it now, you know I went down a rabbit hole, a polymer clay rabbit hole, and you would have seen that video where I bought the extruder, the clay extruder. I also bought lots of teeny tiny miniature cutters. They are the most adorable cutters ever. So the first thing I did was mix up my polymer clay and I put it through my pasta roller just to condition the clay. It's so much easier than using your hands. It saves your hands. So I do have a pasta roller and I put it through that a few times to mix these two colors together. I didn't want a bright bold marble, but I was happy with the subtle shades that I got here. Then it was time to stamp. I have done stamping on polymer clay many times on my channel, but this one, I don't know, it is absolutely my favorite. Just making sure that I am totally coating this stamp with my black ink. The ink I'm using is the black permanent stays on ink. Again, everything is linked below in my Amazon storefront. I have a whole section for stamps and I have a whole section for polymer clay. Now, here's the thing. The first stamp really didn't come out very well at all. I didn't push hard enough, so I reloaded the ink on the stamp and I put my entire body's weight down on it. Luckily, I managed to line it up exactly with the previous stamp. This is what we're looking like. It is giving punk rock, almost anarchy vibes. We're going to go from this to this. We're going to create some gorgeous jewellery pieces using our polymer clay and stamps. And it is one of my favourites. Because this was giving me punk rock vibes, it was definitely... I spoke to my patrons about it and there was just something very newspaper headlines, that bold font. It was giving Johnny Rotten and yeah, that anarchy vibe. I can't explain it, but that's where my brain was taking me. I decided to use some star cutters because I just thought that would lend itself to the punk rock scene and yeah, had fun with it. And then I used this totally tiny little star, which I adored. I wasn't putting too much thought into where I was cutting, so very much like the last video, I wanted some of those words to be seen, but I equally was okay if I was cutting off some of the words, as long as there was something on the finished piece that could be, that was legible, that was readable. I was happy with that. And again, I wasn't necessarily keeping it lined up and straight. So you can see here with the star, I could have easily turned that star around so that the love was really central and right in the middle and flat, but that wasn't what I was going for. I was going for this chaotic and random pattern in the finished pieces and using my blade to take them off the surface. I love them. I'm gonna say I love them quite a lot, even though we're using a love stamp. So it does, yeah, anyway. I'm actually using a ceramic tile. I'm using my clay on a ceramic tile. This was a tile that was left over from our bathroom renovation and it just came in so handy for the polymer clay. The tile goes directly into the oven with everything on it and it is just making my polymer clay creation life so much easier. But let me know what you think. Are you feeling what I'm feeling? That kind of chaos, punk rock, anarchy, newspaper headlines, you know, breaking news kind of vibe. I mixed another batch of clay. I just mixed a whole load of this cream colour in with some pink just to create a much lighter shade. Again, what you take from this video, just make it your own. You can totally, if you want to, directly copy exactly what I've done. That's what I'm here for. I do not mind people copying directly what I've done. However, if you've got more of a vibe, like not more of a vibe, but more of a hobby, if you are specifically interested in certain things like botanicals and or certain patterns, geometrics, anything like that, you could totally make this your own. Use any colour clay you want and just get to stamping and make it your own, very much so. There were a couple here that I wasn't too keen on when they came out, so I just put them back in the bundle of clay to be used another time. But loving the heart. I love the fact that the E has pretty much been severed from the love. Either way, it still spells love, so we are all good. I love the shape. I actually really like the different heart shapes that I got in this kit that I bought. I'm so used to that real typical chunky fat round heart that looks like a peach. But yeah, I've got some nice tall skinny hearts in this kit as well. Loving. Finally, I went with the circle just to incorporate as much of that stamp as I possibly could. Now, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing here. I am not a polymer clay specialist. I really still know very little. So I am putting in some of these metallic screw eyelets. My fingers are filthy. I've been playing with paint and clay and stamps, so please forgive the mess on my hands. But yeah, putting these in before we bake them in the oven. Let me know if that is the right choice. Let me know if, as a polymer clay artist, you also do that, because I only did it to a couple of them. The others were a bit fiddly, so we are going to tackle those now. This is what they are looking like when they come out of the oven, and I left it around 20, I want to say I came back next day basically. You don't have to leave it that long, but I came back next day. I'm going to use my go-to jewellery drill. This is USB operated and just simple button push operation. Really easy to use. Again, all linked below in my jewellery section. And I'm going to individually drill a hole into each of these. Now, what these become is entirely up to you. I am, of course, going to make jewellery. I could have easily just put a magnet on the back and made little individual fridge magnets, which would have also been really, really cute. But I'm just drilling a simple hole into each of these, and I'm not putting too much thought into where the screw eyelet goes. If the font is upside down, then it's upside down. I mean, it just so happens that none of them are, but it really wouldn't have bothered me. That was the whole chaos vibe that I was going for. So yeah, everything is on the wonk and everything is on the slant, and that is perfectly okay, because when I cut my stars, I didn't cut them so that the font would line up where it's actually hanging. I gave myself the freedom of just doing things very randomly. It is quite liberating when you get to the point of allowing yourself the freedom to create whatever way around you want. Like, if it's slanted, that's okay. One thing I am not is a perfectionist. There's one thing I do not like, and that is failing at something. If I try something and I can't do it, it does upset me. However, when I am in the zone and I'm loving what I'm doing and I'm feeling successful in that, then I allow myself the freedom to have everything just a little bit slanted, skew-whiffy, random, that kind of throw it all together, shove it all in vibe. I'm all for it. But yes, again, if I'm not good at something and I try it once and it doesn't work, then I do get a bit sulky about it, and I'm less likely to try it again. There you go. You've got a little insight into my psyche and into my inner workings here. Now I'm finishing them all off with a bit of UV resin. This is the Let's Resin UV resin. I go real slow. I use my cocktail stick to make sure that it gets to all of the edges. A quick blast with a torch to get any bubbles out, and straight under my UV light. I have everything to hand when I'm doing UV resin, so I have my light right there, because I'm always scared that when I'm top coating, it's gonna just flow off the edge, whereas if I can just whack it under the UV light really, really quick, then that will hopefully stop any of that resin flowing over. I'm attaching my jump rings, I'm attaching that faux black leather rope that you would have seen in the last video, and just attaching it to this display card just to make it look a little bit pretty for the video. I really do love the shape of that heart. There is something about it that is giving me all of the positives. I then carry on and I top coat all of the pieces. How you top coat, again, entirely up to you guys. Now, I do know that some polymer clay artists use a brush on varnish. I've also seen some polymer clay artists dip their pieces into like a glossy polyurethane finish. So let me know what you do in the comment section down below. I bought this gorgeous kit. This is again from Amazon. It is just a huge box filled with jewelry findings of all of the different shades of metal and the studs as well. So we're going to be creating some studs, we're going to be creating some danglies, and we're going to be creating some of those necklaces with the black faux leather rope. And it was just a case of assembling. So I'm using my jewellery tools. I'm attaching some of the jump rings to the screw eyelets and putting all of my pieces on there. Now, I have created earrings, but they're not matching earrings. So if your soul allows you to do something like that, this is definitely the project for you. If you want matching earrings, then absolutely you can achieve that. You just have to watch where you're stamping and make sure that you cut out exactly the same area of that stamp to make sure that your earrings are matching. And this is what we're looking like. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think of these. What vibe are they giving you? What feel are they giving you? But yeah, I'm definitely feeling that kind of punk rock era and the anarchy side of it, because they are all a little bit chaotic. I've absolutely loved this one. If you have enjoyed this one and you feel inspired, then please do not forget to give me that thumbs up. It is the thumbs up that allows me to grow here on YouTube, and also let me know what you're thinking about it down in the comment section down below. If you've been with me in the live chat, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. 3 days a week, you are always with me, and I love you for that. To everyone else, I love you too, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.